Yo, what is good? My anime people, what is good, yo? I have a sneeze and I picked the worst time to start the video. Alright, anyway, I think it's gone. Weirdly enough, instead of waiting a whole entire week until Wednesday rolled back around, our cautious hero has shown up yet again for some odd reason. And it looks like we're getting a true close that was about as close as it came to an abrupt ending as I ever seen. Like if they didn't want to just straight up be like, hey, he and everything he's done is just going to be written off now, and whatever happens after this. They could have really done that if they didn't really want to go through with this show anymore, which is crazy to me to see this uh, outcome overall. But as a whole, it's been relatively interesting as a whole for this show because I was imagining something relatively different when it came down to a lot of things we have already found out about this show. Um, just for the case of being, we saw a lot of characters kind of take the background position in the just like not fighting, staying safe, not really being involved, and then all of a sudden, when they do get involved, it's almost as if these characters are in very, very tough positions where they just can't, take out any given foe in this S difficulty world where the hero is supposed to come into play. So now I'm kind of interested in what actually caused it to be S class. Like, is it only really because of the Demon Lord and just the things he's setting up in general? Or is it the simple fact that um, the Demon Lord himself is just so powerful that you need an S class difficulty ranking on it, and that's kind of it. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing it's the latter because if you can just leave this world after the demon world's been defeated, it seems like it would be a normal world then, right? Like it's a world without a demon lord unless they just manifest over time. Which, that's kind of something we never really got a actual answer or understanding to, is like, why is there so many demon lords out there and all of them are all spread across uh different worlds, different complete and utter like places that would never be seen that never could be seen normally, and all of a sudden, the world has its own different types of living, different types of rules and stuff like that. So I think it's cool that the end of the show kind of play with your heartstrings. But to be fair, I feel like anime has become or was already just like comic books. And what I mean by that is, with comic books, if a character dies, they're usually going to come back, regardless of how long it takes. They usually come back. The thing I've been noticing with death in anime and these types of shows in general, where death has already been kind of alluded to being beatable, like you can somehow you could already, something that's supposed to kill you can already be overcome, okay? When there's stuff like that in the show already, it just kind of shows you the potential of the characters just finding ways to not end up dead at the end of the day, even though they've done something that relatively has, hey, if you do this, you die, connotations on it. But that wasn't the case with this show, and I feel like that's been a lot of anime lately, is this whole factor of death being beaten by hopes and wishes and dreams and just random people who have the overall power to do it in general, breaking rules to allow it. You know, it's stuff like that that makes you really kind of curious where anime as a whole is going, because now I feel like death is becoming a very, very garbage plot thread for shows like this now, or for just in general any show that goes to death now for the main character and not some side characters that no one would really miss, or you would miss and they actually just don't come back. It doesn't happen a lot, where you see a show with multiple great main characters and the show is not afraid to kill them off recently. Usually it's one or the other at this point in time with the anime. It's kind of sad, but at the same time it's coming to be expected. Like, the whole time I wanted to be sad about this, character supposedly maybe dying off and not coming back, but the last episode just showed us that reincarnation is a thing. You might not remember everything you did in your past life, but it's possible, right? So, um, with the gates of Valhalla, you were supposed to supposedly sacrifice your life in a way that his body as a hero, shouldn't have gone back to home. Like, he shouldn't have gone to his home world, I believe, or maybe it was the chains of destruction. If he died like that, he wouldn't have gone back to his home world only. I don't remember that part clearly, but in the case of just him completing this in the way that he did, and then after it all being said and done, and him just kind of being wished back, or not even wished back, it was just one person who was like, a guy that saved the world in a world where we had multiple heroes and gods, terrified of it, and he comes in, beats it his first try, doesn't die, and have to have another goddess or something come through. In this world, I'm saying. He did die in another world, I get it, but that wasn't this S rank world, and he doesn't die on this because of his experience of dying and losing people that he really cared about. So these are the types of things that really shined in this week's episode, but then it gets like underwhelming when all of a sudden you could kind of guess by the tone of the story that he's probably going to come back in some way or fashion. And now that our goddess used up all of her powers to supposedly heal him in the first place, to save him for the first time, the first life hack that we see, we're like, okay, well, now she's going to have to deal with some consequences because of what she's just done. That's cool. But then on the flip side of that, her consequences to go to another world with the person she wants to be with and start over from scratch, which kind of sucks for Mash and the other girl, but that's what I'm talking about. Those are true side characters where even when Mash was practically supposed to die, it still was cool that he got saved and all, but at the end of the day, these characters don't even need to be brought up, right? Like, they don't even need to bring them up. I don't even think our goddess can use, like, divine gates or anything, if there is another season, which I'm not sure at this point, but from what it sounds like, she's not supposed to have any of her powers, really, and her punishment was to go save an SS class rank world with no powers, and I don't even think a hero at that point. So to go from having to do that to all of a sudden getting the hero that's capable of already beating S-class missions, and the only thing you really have to worry about is his over, cautiousness. Pretty sure that's a pretty good deal that you got there, but overall, I definitely want to hear what you guys are saying about this show. It's been a while since I've seen weird scheduling stuff like this, where next thing you know, I made a video about this like 2 days ago, and here it is already dropping season finale when there's plenty of time for them to wait until next week. So a lot of shows have come to its inevitable ends, and I am kind of sad that they're gone, but at the same time, it just means a lot of good stuff could be on the way. So let's look forward to that. And 2020 is about to be starting off with just straight new animes all together. Like, there's going to be barely any old animes out that are from 2019, which is actually crazy to think about at this point because as we've been watching, um, it felt like everything kind of was perfectly timed. Like, some unfortunate things happened to the Fire Force people in the studio. We have breaks just every now and then, just because, um, our holidays. There's a lot of stuff that usually happens, and to see all these shows come to an end, like at the same time, was interesting to me. I don't think I might have seen this happen before, where just like six, almost like five shows just came to a conclusion, all back, well, almost like six shows, yeah, came to a conclusion in less than 2 weeks of each other, so it's pretty crazy. But overall, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. I will definitely be talking to you guys sooner than later. Saturday's got some new anime to talk about, and I can't wait to talk about them with y'all. So with all that being said, take care and peace. Oh, and if you're watching this on Saturday or after Saturday, it just feels weird now. No, but take care and peace. Oh, it's not gonna hit. Wow. Never again. Never again will I use this character. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Okay, buddy. Shut the